Hello everyone, good evening. This is Sagar from Network Journey.
Good evening, Sagar.
Yeah, good evening. So are you guys from the Cisco background?
Yes, right.
Yes.
Okay. So anyone from non-Cisco background?
Yes.
Yes, here. I am system administrator, not
Okay,
related to networking.
okay. So if you're from system, even then this is close enough. Only if you in future are looking to get into network side. Okay. But why did I ask is sometime we have people coming from the application side or software side. So that for them this course would not be helpful. But for networking or system admin, security, data center, collab, for them at least they can relate the case studies, but not the software developers or the application builders. Okay. And how many of you are from familiar to the Python or Ansible or any sort of automation?
Python.
Okay. So you've been working on any script or something?
I'm working on Python automation, the mobile applications and web applications using APM and Selenium.
Okay. Are you from Cisco background?
Not completely, but I am familiar with the network concepts.
Okay. So what is your role and responsibility right now?
Currently, I'm working as a Wi-Fi product-based, products testing now,
Okay.
both on automation and manual.
Okay. Okay. So you
Wi-Fi routers, on Wi-Fi routers.
okay. All right. So you're basically from the application side.
Not applications, both on firmware testing as well.
Okay. But let me clear you, this is purely for Cisco network engineers. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
any network engineer, but irrespective of vendor, but it's for network engineer, not for the softwares or application.
Okay, then it would better for me if I drop from the call.
Yes, this is not gonna help you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that is what happens in the Python class. We get a lot of people who are from non-networking background. Okay, because this is a programming language which is used in various domain. Okay, so how many of you have worked on Python or have any knowledge here in automation?
I'm new to this Python and ANSIBLE.
Okay. What about others?
I am in his network background. Some basic knowledge in Python.
Okay. So you're working on any automation projects or something, or just that you know it from
No,
your
how the future is came the networking pro IoT, sorry, automation projects. That's why I'm learning.
okay. Okay. How about others?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with any programming. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm a network engineer.
Okay.
I have basic knowledge of Python, academic knowledge. Regarding Ansible, I'm going to start to learn this automation.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So guys, let me just put a brief on what we would be going through. So first thing that you need to know is you don't need to have any prerequisite. You don't need to be an expert here in Python or Ansible or API. The batch will start from scratch. So we will cover up the theory first. For Python, we cover the theory first and then we get to the practical. Once Python is done, then we go towards the Ansible theory, and then the practical of it. And same goes with the API. We learn the theory, and then we do the practical. And at the very end of this curriculum, we will also have the Cisco Devnet covered. So this is the official certificate that you would be writing up. Cisco Devnet 200901. Okay, so it consists of 4 modules, starting with Python, Ansible, API, and the Devnet. So it takes 2 months, at least 1.5 to 2 months, and the classes are every Monday to Thursday, daily 1 hour, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. India time zone. So this is a brief about this. You can also check or read our website, where you will get all the more details on the syllabus copy and all that thing. So this is the URL. Let me put here on the chat window too. Okay, so here you can see that this is the course content that we would be taking up in the batch. So it consists of around 20 modules. These are the some projects, hands-on practical you would be given, where you would work and submit. So starting module would be this one, Python theory. And then we take up the Python related scripting, starting with this module. Once this is done, we go towards the Ansible module, API module, Devnet module. And whenever there's a right time for the practical, I would be assigning you the projects. Okay, so after 1 week of completion, you can expect one project coming to you. So you will work on this during your weekend and submit back. So similar way, we have the projects. Okay, so some weeks you might receive 2 projects, some 2 short project. So this is how you will also gain your hands-on experience writing the code for automating the network box. So you can go through the course content. It's the link is already put up. So now let's come back and let's talk about why automation. So from your traditional networking point of view, what is that stuff that you would like to automate? You all are network engineer, right? So what is that task which you think you would like to automate or should have been automated, or why do you think automation is important? Yes, guys.
Yeah, monitoring and reporting.
Okay, so let's say you want to automate all your monitoring and
reporting.
okay, report stuff. So let's say your L1 jobs, some support for the L1 jobs.
Pushing
what-
configuration in multiple devices and audit.
Okay, push configuration. So this is more frequent during the maintenance window. And what else? Reports, what report? Audit reports, you said.
Audit.
Okay, audit reports. What else?
Repetitive works.
Sorry.
Repetitive works.
Okay, repetitive work. Okay. Repetitive work or task that can be automated. What
And
else?
reduce administrative work and time saving.
Okay. So reduce human intervention.
Yes, yes. Human intervention, you can add the time, time consideration also.
Okay. Let's say to achieve a good SLA outputs. Okay. Service level agreement.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else do you think in your normal traditional methods you face the challenge?
N number of devices initially infra development, we can do the manually. They take a lot of time and lot of man-made mistakes. You go for the automation. You can very quickly for the control all the devices. You can avoid the manual errors.
Okay. Human errors. It's usually called human errors.
Yes,
So this occurs when you try to push the config, but due to human error, you might copy paste, do a mistake while I copy paste. Okay. And
yes.
things goes in a bad shape. Okay. What else?
Yeah. That's only my experience of it.
Okay.
Pulling
What?
some customized reports.
Okay. Customized report. Customized report for with customized fields.
Yeah,
Whatever you
with matching fields, etc. Yeah,
yeah, whatever format of the field you want
and
to.
send a mail.
Okay, yeah, send the
Kind of
mail.
not. Yeah.
Okay. What else? Have you guys thought about doing the upgrade process, iOS upgrade? So usually this is a very time-consuming process, iOS upgrade. You take a pre-check, you copy the iOS file from your local machine to the device via SCP or any file transfer protocol. Then you modify the boot variable and you hit on the reload button. Once the device comes back, you take the post check and you take the diff check report using the pre and post that you have fetched previously. And the diff check report will show you in a color coding that what is being changed, what got modified, etc., right? So this also can be completely automated, the whole process. All the steps can be automated. You can just have one script for that. Okay, and also something regards to compliance report. Not report that I would like to say, compliance config push. Compliance push or config push. So as per compliance push, what happens is, let's say I got 10 network devices. So customer comes to us and say that on the first device, he see 10 ACL. On the second device, he see 12 ACL. He see 8 ACL on the third one. He see, let's say 10 ACL. And here he see around 7 ACL. Now customer is not happy with the irregularities of the content on the devices. As per his standard, he wants to have 11 ACLs. ACL in the sense 11 statements. It could be either permit or it could be either deny or whatever. But 11 as per his standard. This is called a compliance report. And such things brings the percentage lower, like 60% compliance, 50% compliance, which is not good for them. They also need to answer their upper management. So they ask you to make the necessary push so that all of the device will have a standard common structure. Let's say all will have 11 ACLs throughout. Okay. So now how would you do that? Let's say if the number of devices are more, 100 devices, you cannot go to each one of them and see what is the missing line and fix it, right? So for such things, you can generate the report first using concept of regex, regular expression. You can find out which device is missing which ACL or which device is having additional number of lines. And accordingly, you can make the policy or you can make the script and fix the issue. Okay, again, in an automated process, not in a manual process. It's an automated process. So this is all coming under the compliance part, compliance push. Okay, one more simple real-time aspect, taking backup. Usually we have tools, third-party tools to take the backup, but those third-party tools are cost-effective and your management is looking to cut down the cost. You have the automation tools with you to help you with the periodic backup. Okay, and also this is a free of cost because it's an open source program, but you only need to have a necessary skill set. So you can write a script and you can take a backup without any human intervention. That backup job is executed in the backend. Okay, so you can also get this process automated. So every Friday at 6 p.m. backup is auto-generated for all your 1000 devices and is stored in some SCP directory or FTP directory or your local directory, wherever. Okay, so this is also part of a backup process. What else can you do it via automation? Have you guys worked on Palo Alto or F5 or any next generation devices which has a graphical interface? How many of you have worked on either of them, Palo Alto or F5 or any of the dashboard based website?
No, not it.
I have
Okay.
worked on F5, yeah.
Okay, all right. So for F5, when someone asks you to create 10 whips, it's a very time-consuming process, right? So what process do you use? Do you use the CLI method of copy paste or any other method you use for a faster creation?
For faster creation, I use CLI, yes.
Okay, so what happens here is a lot of people, they will make a CLI command line, then they clone that CLI and just change a few IPs and
IPs, yeah. Pool
and
settings.
port settings, etc. And they make the 10 copies of it, go to the CLI of the LTM and copy paste it. Okay, so kind of a manual process, but a smart manual work. Okay, if you follow the graphical interface, it might have 4 to 5 different tabs like next, sometimes the drop down menu, sometimes you need to type, which for 10 such instance will easily take a 45 minutes or something. Whereas here the manual effort to prepare the change plan and to copy paste might be, let's say, it takes 30 minutes. Okay, The same problem also happens with any other dashboards like Palo Alto dashboard, Nexus dashboard, SD-WAN dashboard, ACI dashboard.
Yes,
So
yes.
here, yeah, go ahead. Okay, so here is where we try to automate the process. So I write a Python script. I can put all the details in the Excel sheet or Notepad. My Python script will read those external file and then make the push. So it can make the push via SSH protocol or HTTP protocol. And you will have your webs configured on whatever device it is. So if you have, let's say 5 LTM, so you have that done in just fraction of time. Let's say in 2 minutes, everything is done. You can also validate if it is done or not done. Okay, so this is how the automation is used. So whatever you were doing in a traditional method, now you do it in a automation method. So how do you get started here? What is the getting started point of view? How to start? What you need for this? You need the programming language. So you need Python if you are going with the Python automation. If you need Ansible, you need this. Also, you need a compiler. So you can go with compilers like PyCharm. So these are applications where you would write your code. You can go with PyCharm. You can go with Microsoft Visual Studio, Atom, Eclipse. These are some name of the tools. Okay, these are all free version. Do not worry that you need to pay for it. These are all the application which are available for free of cost. And then you need the target device. So let's say if you are trying to write a script for Palo Alto. So how do you get the target device? Either your employer must give you a test environment, or you should have a lab where you can deploy Palo Alto. Or if you want a Cisco router or switch. So if you have your employer provided with some real devices for your labbing, you can use them, or you can have your virtual emulators. Okay, so this we will help you. So when you are enrolled with us, we will give you the emulator, and that emulator will have all these images of Palo Alto, Cisco, Juniper, the Linux box, and F5, Nexus. Okay, we will provide you the image so that you don't have to look for or chase for the images or whatever. So these are some the frequently used required tools. You need the programming language, you need an application, you need the target device. Okay, very minimum requirement that you need to get started. So how do you start again? So let's say this is your machine, this is your computer. You need to install the programming language of your choice. Python is one of them, but you know that there are a lot of programming language. There is Java, C, C++, Golang, JavaScript, right? So there are a lot of programming languages. But we will go with Python because of its lightweight features and also easy to use when compared with other programs. So you have to install Python on your machine. You need an application as we put up. Let's say we go with PyCharm. So I have to install this. These are all exe format if it is a Windows machine. If it is MacBook or Linux, then you can go with the package manager like pip, yum, sudo, apt. Okay, these are some of the package managers there. Okay, so let's consider Windows for now because majority of people will use Windows. Python, PyCharm. What about target device or the remote? So let's say that remote lab is hosted on our side, on the network journey side. Okay, so you will have the images put kept here, whatever images that you have. So from your machine, wherever you are on a remote, you will connect to the lab first. And within the lab, you have all the devices. So you can just write the script and you can automate. But some people also would like to have the home lab setup. They don't want the remote lab. They would like to have a home lab setup. So in that case, you need to install the end devices on your side. You can have it GNS or EVNG. Any of the emulators, you can install it on your machine and put all the images on your side, Cisco. But remember, it will take at least 16 plus GB of RAM. So if you have that, you can do it on your home lab. If you don't have it, then go with the previous step, that is to keep using our lab. Okay, we provide you both the option. It is up to you. You can decide whatever you want it. Okay, so this is about a brief on again where is the respective tools getting installed. So Python, PyCharm on the machine. Remote is an optional. You can have it on your home lab, or you can have it on the remote server and you can access it. Okay. Now let's say from the production point of view. In the production point of view, what happens? So production scenarios. So for production scenario, we would have 2 to 3 different types. Let me talk about the first scenario. So you as a remote engineer would be accessing the customer and enterprise. So this is your customer, and this is you sitting in any of the remote location. So you might make a connection. You might make use of some VPN connection first. So let's say you have a Cisco VPN, Cisco AnyConnect, or a Palo Alto's Global Protect. So once you have the VPN's connection done, you usually take a SSH from your machine itself. You take SSH to the customer's Cisco box, or his Cisco switch, or his Palo Alto firewall, or a FortiGate firewall, right? Over on the SSH protocol. So in this case, you would install all the necessary files on your machine directly. So you will install Python, PyCharm on your machine itself. And the remote device is here on the customer side. So this is one of the most frequently happening setup, where you just need to connect, you just need to connect via VPN, and then you normally have the reachability via SSH. If that is the case, you can install all your automation tools directly on your laptop itself. And then I'll show you how basically you write the script and you initiate SSH from the scripting point of view. Okay, so this is one setup. Let's say the second setup. Let's say this is your machine, a remote engineer. Your customer is on the other side. Okay, but this customer don't allow any VPN. Instead, he is having something called as VDI access or jump server or jump or terminal server. You might be using this various keyword: VDI, jump server, terminal server. In this case, what happens? You first take the connection to that gateway, VDI or jump host and terminal server. And once you're within this machine, this can be a Windows machine, or it can be a Ubuntu Linux machine, whatever it is. And from that machine, you normally initiate the connection to the devices. Okay, so I can just say that this is the first connection from your laptop to the customer side jump server, and from there you initiate the second connection. Okay, so this is another scenario. In this scenario, what happens? Where would you install the automation kits? You will install it here. You will install Python script or Python tools or whatever the required thing. You will install on the customer jump server. But now not all the customer provide you the access there. He may not give you access to install these application. Might be that is just a read only. Now how would you do that? So let's say for that, I'll come up with the third scenario. So you have a machine, your laptop. This is your customer premise. Okay. Customer has this jump server, terminal server, VDI, whatever you want to call. You have a connection, and from that connection, you normally make a second connection to the boxes. So I can just put it as second connection. This is first connection. And as I told you, this is a read only. Let's assume that it's a read only and the customer not let you to install anything. So in that case, you can still install all your packages on your machine itself. So now you might be wondering, if you install here and there is no concept of VPN, how would you make two connections from script? So we can make some concept of read dispatch inside our script. So what the script does, it will first take the connection to the terminal server. Okay, via making whatever like SSH or something. SSH protocol is sufficient to make a first connection to the terminal server. And from the terminal server, it will initiate the second connection. So let's say if the source here was 1.1.1.1 and you're making a destination to, let's say, 100.100.100.1, the end device. So what happens is when you reach here, the source will be now the terminal server. Let's say terminal server was 2.2.2. The end destination is still pointing to that itself. Okay, so this is how we can also leverage our machine directly to make the connection. All the installation files, you will do it on the script on your laptop. The laptop will have the Python script that will initiate the first connection to the terminal server. And from terminal server, automatically the connection will be put up to the second devices or whatever end devices. So this is when it's a read-only scenario. Whereas your previous scenario was when the user had given you the read-write permission and you went with the installation directly on the terminal server. So guys, let me know which one of the things do you guys fall into. Where do you guys fall into? Which setup, production setup?
I am into two. Scenario
Okay,
two.
so so that means you have the installation access on your jump server.
Not all, I think. But I know only one module, so that is in Netmico. I mean, so sorry, Paramico is there, but not Netmico. I don't know why.
On the terminal server, you have a PyCharm installed?
My terminal server is Linux based.
Okay. No, I mean, when you said you are having Paramico script,
Yeah.
so how are you initiating the script? Which tool?
I didn't initiate it yet, but because I'm
Okay.
not sure of any programming, but I know
Okay.
I know just it is there. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you need to check if PyCharm and all other things are installed in the jump server or not. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How about others? Where do you guys think you fall under?
I am good evening from Nigeria. I am Abdul Aziz Omar.
Yeah. Hi, Omar. How are you?
Fine, sir. Though I just joined the class of recent, and although I'm not even aware of this thing, but I actually know you're talking about Python or something, but still yet I'm just being confused. Please, I don't know, maybe you can just lead through, just give me a hint on what I'm really falling about. So I don't know, maybe you can give me just hints about what you're even teaching,
This
sir.
this is about Python network automation.
Python network automation.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So please, what is it about, sir?
So see, we have already covered 10 to 15 minutes. You can go through the recording after this. Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
sir. I'm ready.
Yes, guys. Others who were joined from the beginning. So tell me what model, production model you follow, first, second, or third?
Hi, this is Syed here. I mean, I just joined in out of curiosity. So there isn't anything as specific model we follow. I mean, just wanted to learn. So that's the reason I joined in. Yeah. So we
No,
don't
no.
have anything as such.
How do you connect to the customer enterprise?
The customer enterprise, I mean, we do it directly via, SSH or Telnet most of the time.
So you
There
might
isn't
be
any
connecting
automation.
first the VPN, right, to the customer.
Correct.
Yeah. So you are from this model then, the
First model, yeah. Okay.
first model. Okay. And Adi, who also answered, he would be from the second model.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is something about the deployment. So whatever is the scenario, you can still put the tools, get it started. Okay. Okay. Now regarding let's say what you want while you start, or let's say let me give more focus on Python because of its modules and all that thing. So do you guys know about library or module here in Python? Anyone know? Anyone is aware of this?
No.
No one is aware
And
of. Okay.
And the other things, I really appreciate your class and I like your class, but normally I'm not into Python, I'm into Java. So I don't know, maybe in this thing, do you used to take Java classes?
No. We don't take Java automation. Okay.
Okay, it's only for Python.
Yes.
Okay,
And it's
okay,
only
fine.
for Cisco networking as well.
Okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
Yes, guys. So anyone from Cisco network automation, have you heard about this library module package? Okay. See, I'll just put it in this way. So let's say when you decide to automate your box, okay, whatever vendor that you might be working, either you deal with SSH protocol, you deal with Telnet, but not most of you might have used this or using this. Okay. What else do you use? Might be SNMP or HTTP. So now you tell me, which protocol do you use? SSH, Telnet, SNMP, HTTP.
SSH and SNMP.
Okay.
HTTP for API calls.
Okay. Okay. So by seeing the as per seeing the protocol, you now need to see which Python library can achieve that. Okay. So let's say that if it is SSH protocol and if it's let's say SNMP or HTTP, which is highly used these days. So for SSH, we have couple of them. We have a package called as Paramiko. We got NetMiko, NEPAM, PyNTC, Nonya. So these are some packages, Python packages for SSH protocol. Similar way for SNMP, there would be a package called SNMP, but most of the time, all these SSH packages are also capable of SNMP. Okay, that means SNMP I can also achieve via Paramiko, NetMiko, NEPAM, and many others. Okay, so this is all SNMP package. For HTTP package, we don't go with this because this may not be capable of HTTP. So for HTTP, we go with either request library, request Python library, or NC client. Okay, these are all packages. Very in simple word, you just remember that you need to know what library or module or package you need to get automated. So these are for SSH module, these are SNMP, and these are SSH. Okay, so automation is also carried over on protocol itself. So which protocol you want, you decide it, and then you automate it. So let's say if you think about the three-tier architecture. So you guys know what is three-tier architecture?
Access, switch, distribution, and the core.
Yeah, access, distribution, and core. So tell me some device model if you remember for each one of them.
4500.
Okay, so where would 4500 come?
Access switches. Access switch.
Mm,
Cisco 3850, 4500.
2960.
See, I think we can.
920.
Sorry.
ASR 920. Cisco ASR 9 router.
See, all the catalyst switches we can keep on the access layer. Okay. And anything like routers, let's say ISR router, ASR router, okay, or let's say, okay, not the routers. Let's say routers. Let's keep it here. ISR, ASR, okay. In the distribution, we can keep Nexus device or 65.
Catalyst 9Ks.
9600.
Yeah.
95, 93s.
Okay. So all these devices we can keep it here. This low end devices, Cisco 800, Cisco the 1000 series especially switches, access layer switches. These are distribution. These are some of the core devices. Okay. Now you have to automate, let's say all this or majority of them. So let's say you have to automate access layer. You might have to add a ACL security policy, port security policy on the access layer. On the distribution layer, might be you want to configure some logging host or external servers. On a core, might be you're planning to put some routing protocol. Correct. So all related to Cisco or networking, I can say network protocol, network devices. So here is where you will decide what and how to get started. So for all access layer, which is SSH based, I would go with one of the modules from this list. Paramiko, NetMiko, NEPAM, PyNTC, Nornia. If I go towards the next one, distribution, I might have options. I can either log in via SSH or I can also log in with HTTP. So in that case, I can decide to go with SSH or HTTP. I have both the options with me. Same goes with the core as well. If you have only SSH protocol, you go with one of these ones. Or if you have the HTTP as well open, then I go with the API method as well. So first I have to see what is my target device. Once I know the target device, then I will see which protocol is enabled on them, SSH or HTTP. Then I will decide which module or which package is the right package to go with. Okay. And then I will select one of them and I start preparing my script. So now let's say if it is only SSH module and you have variety of option. You have Paramiko, Netmiko,
NC.
NEPA. Which one?
NC client also uses SSH, right, in the backend?
It uses HTTP. Yeah, it uses SSH. Yeah.
Okay.
It uses SSH, but it's a API module.
Okay. Because it is netconf, right?
Yes. Okay, so here now regarding these module, SSH module, we have so many options. So how would we decide what to go with? So anyone who has worked on this, so can you comment what is better? What is the limitation of one to other?
I think Netmiko or Nonier is better.
Okay, and why?
Because it has a lot of support, Python support.
Okay, support in the sense?
The author Kirk updates it a lot in the GitHub.
Okay, that gets updated even the other modules. Okay, so you can say that support from the ticket case, or if you're stuck okay, which usually people do, but let's say it is more in Netmiko. What else? What else do you think the limitation or
Limitation is multi-threading, I believe, but nowadays we can concurrently get access to multiple devices using the concurrent features, I think so.
okay. So
Earlier there was
yeah,
multi-threading.
yeah, so the modules might lose the concurrent, or there may not be no support for multi-thread. No support. So what happens in Netmiko is connection happens one after one. So your device, your system will initiate one SSH connection with one Cisco box. Once the job is done, then it will terminate. Then it will reinitiate the second connection. So the connection is always one after one. But this is not a good thing in the production. If I have 100 device, let's say if each device take 5 seconds, so you can just multiply with that and your elapsed time or execution time will also increase. So for this, you can either introduce the multi-thread concept, threading module, or you can go with the Nornier module, which is a combination of Netmiko and the thread module. So we will see this how the Nornier is constructed. Okay, so what else do you think might be Netmiko and Nornier is better than the rest of the things?
Nonier is a framework, right? I mean, it is closer to Ansible.
Yeah, it is a framework, the way it is being organized. Okay, so it depends on the other modules for all the other features. It is only used for thread concept. Okay, but again, what other things we have still not touched the very basic things here. How about the supporting vendor? From support vendor point of view, if I have in my production F5, Palo Alto, Cisco, Arista, Junos. So now tell me, which one should I think about using?
I definitely know Netmiko supports all those vendors because it
Okay.
has huge database of allowed vendors.
Yeah. So Netmiko will have 30 plus multi-vendor support. So this should be one more reason to go with Netmiko. Whereas NEPAM and PyNTC might be 6 to 9 vendors, 5 to 7 vendors. Nornier also has these days close to 10 different vendors. And Paramiko again will have a limitation up to 7 vendors or something like that. Okay. So if these are the vendors and if you see that they don't support, then the Netmiko is the one which has a highest chance of supporting them. Okay. So that is also one of the factor. Okay. What else about the speed? So anything about the speed, execution, anything which is faster than one other, or because that also is a important concern, right? If you are triggering the script for 100 device, if it takes complete 24 hours, then that's not a good automation. Automation is considered to be the fastest method and error-free methods, right? Human error-free method. So which one do you think would be the fastest one?
Maybe Nornier.
Yeah, so Nornier would be the fastest one because it has the thread concept. Okay, so what happens in thread is, let's say I'm running Nornier here on my machine. So I can say that I can support 25 device SSH at a time. Okay, so there is no need that the connection should be disconnected. So all 25 connections happens concurrently. Okay, all in the 5 second of time frame. So all this happened in 5 seconds. Once the job is done, it can also reconnect to next 25 devices. So this way, the Nornier is the fastest one. Rest of the modules like Paramiko, Netmiko, NEPAM, PyNTC, they don't have thread concept, but we can add it. We can add it and make it concurrent. Otherwise, by default, they don't. So this is the fastest one. And if you have a very less number like 50 to 100 device, then the rest is also fine. I mean, they don't take a very huge time to get done with 50 to 100. It should take just a 15-20 minutes and you should have it. But yes, if the number of device increases, then definitely you should go with a threading concept or Narnia framework. Okay. Okay, what else? What else do you want to understand from these modules perspective? Or what else can we put up as a difference between each one of them? Okay, so these are few of them. And also let me tell you, there is nothing called standard. There's nothing called standard. These are all open source. Anyone is free to go with either one of them and use it, or also can go one or two packages in single script. It's all up to his or her choice. Okay, so there is nothing standard or official. These are not coded by official people. It's by the third party developers. Okay, so this is something about the modules, packages. So now just summarize and tell me what are few steps that we need to start automation. So tell me, what is the first thing that you need?
Choose a library.
Before library, we need programming language and all those things. So we'll start with very step by step, basic step by step. Okay. So what is the first thing we need?
Programming language.
Okay. So which programming language are we going with?
Python.
Okay. Next, what we need?
Compiler.
We need compiler. Which compiler can we go with?
PyCharm or MSVS.
Okay. PyCharm or Microsoft Visual Studio.
Visual Studio.
Okay. What else we need?
And now we need target devices.
Okay. Target device. So just you guys can tell whatever your customer is highly using. So yes, go ahead. What all vendors do you guys use?
Cisco.
Okay.
F5.
Okay.
Genovis,
And
Okay.
Arista,
SD.
Okay.
Palo Alto,
Okay. What else?
FTD.
Okay. Yeah, no one is using SDN, like SD-WAN or
SD-WAN. Yes. SD-WAN controllers.
Okay. 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 So let's say these are some frequently used target devices. So this you can have on your machine or your employer test lab, or you can have it on our servers.
Can we also use DNAC?
Yeah, you can use DNAC. DNAC is available in the Cisco's sandbox. Okay, in the Cisco sandbox, you can have a DNAC which you can automate. Okay, then what we go with? Fourth step.
And
Enabling
now
some commands on the target devices.
No, let's say if we decide about writing the script, so then how we select which module to go with?
choose based on the protocol.
Yeah, so
Which we
based on the
use.
protocol.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3 to 4 different protocols. So here we decide whether to go with the SSH package, SNMP. Telnet, I will exclude the Telnet because of its plain text nature. Okay, now what you do after you know
choosing module.
Yeah. Okay, so name some SSH module.
Netmico.
Okay.
Paramico.
Okay.
Nonir.
Okay.
NEPAM,
What
INTC. Yeah.
What about Ansible? What does it use?
Ansible uses Python in the backend.
Okay, but what SSH or HTTP it will use?
It uses Netmico, right, for SSH?
No, all the SSH will happen via Paramico.
Okay.
Okay, even Ansible for SSH will make use of Paramico, but Ansible also supports API. So if you're making use of package like Galaxy package, then using the concept of the token or webhook, we can also automate via API methods. Okay, so Netmico, Paramico, Nornia are your SSH package. If I want to automate the SSH protocol, then just name me one of that library.
Request.
Yeah, request library. Okay. Now the selection is done. Now the selection is done, then what you will plan with? What you want to know?
Enable SSH and
Okay. Let me put this way. Then you need to have the requirement from your customer. What the requirement is, whether he wants to push the config, fetch something, delete something. Okay. So let's say it is about fetch. He has asked you to take the command output. This is the command he has given to you. So now you will start preparing your script. Okay, you will write your script. So this is what happens when you start with your automation. So step 1 to step 6 is your basic infrastructure that I can see. This cannot be a technical thing. These are the basic requirement that you need to have while you start writing. So your script writing is step number 7, where you need to know the Python theory, like what is Python variable, what is Python data types, string, numbers, list, what is for loop. So all that comes into picture when you start writing. So till here, it is all your basic infrastructure that you need to have, so that once you write the script, you can execute on the target device. Okay, so you got some basic picture, like how does we start and what all things we need it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So guys, when it comes to Python theory, as you guys are not very much familiar, so let me tell you, this is something which is important for us. Okay, say for example, let's say if I need to SSH a box, so on a CLI, I say this. Okay, then what the device would prompt me? The device will prompt me to enter username. So there I give the data as admin. Then the device will prompt me for password. I would give the data as so and so. So these are called as data, which is going from our side, from the script point of view. And these are how the device is operated. Username can be also look like login. Password can also look like pass, depending from vendor to vendor. So Cisco make use of username and password. Doesn't need that a Junos or a Ubuntu box also ask you for username. It can give a different prompt. But data is something which you would define it. You can keep a Linux as a admin Linux as the username. Password you can give it as whatever password you can give it. Okay. So the concept of variable arises. Variable is something where you store the data. The data can be of any types. It can be number, like a port number in the networking world. Port numbers are always numbers, but you can also have characters like admin or you the different CLI commands. See, for example, show IP int brief. This is one whole data. Okay, so this is called as string here in Python. Similar way, if you are defining a port number, now this is a number or integer, you can call it. So these are theory. I think we will take it in the next class, not to make the class too lengthy. Okay, so we'll have some theory tomorrow, and I'll also show you some hands-on practical. So we'll have a practical check tomorrow. So let me show you how the lab looks like. So this is the automation lab. So here we have all these devices like Cisco ASA, Arista, Junos, Cisco routers, and Cisco switch. So you would be asked to automate this. The project should be given to do the write your own script. Also, we have one more lab. Okay, this one. So where we have kept all the next generation firewalls. Okay. Okay, so we have Palo Alto, Big IP, and some switches, routers, etc. So these are the vendors that you would be working on. And as I told you, these are the syllabus copy, syllabus outline. So we start with theory, then we proceed with the NetMiko package first. We will do all the basic automation like fetch, configure, take the backup, regex, multi-thread, Excel reading. All the case studies will be discussed. Okay, the usual things. Then we go with the different Python libraries like SCAPI, NEPAM, PyNTC, Norneo. Once the Python modules are covered up, then we start with Ansible framework. So we have Galaxy, AWX, also called as Ansible Tower, Vault. So all the Ansible modules. Then we get started with the API. So for API, I cover usually F5 and Palo Alto case studies along with SD-WAN and ACI. And finally, we will get done with the Devnet syllabus as well. Okay. So let's keep it short and simple. Today's demo might be most of you may not have come prepared. So tomorrow, the bridge would be on the same meeting ID. It's on the same time, 9 p.m. And tomorrow we will do some automation case studies. Okay, so we can try to automate a few devices from this. A basic automation we can try, like do the show IP in brief and take the backup of this, or make use of input methods so that the device will prompt you to enter password. So you enter the password and then you can fetch it. All right. So we will do the practical tomorrow and we will see how is automation done in a real time point of view. So any doubt from today's class? Are you clear with the step-by-step flow of how do you start with the automation?
Yes, Aga.
Okay, all right. All right, guys. So let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay. And remember, this is Monday to Thursday batch, and it would be 1 hour to 1:15 because for some it would be a working hours or might be in the office. So let's not disturb the flow. So let's keep 1 to 1.15 minutes of this session. All right. So let's catch tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.